How did the fan-favorite girls on Love Island go from being the internet's sweethearts to losing hundreds of thousands of followers overnight? Why are JoJo Siwa's exes suddenly hanging out together like it's an episode of Mean Girls? And did Tana Mongeau seriously film herself taking a pregnancy test after people trolled her latest Instagram post? Oh, and Diddy just got denied bail after being found guilty on 2 charges. This past week wasn't just chaotic. It was reputation-ruining, career-defining, and flat-out insane. And whether you've been following every update or you're just here for the highlights, I've got the full breakdown, from viral call-outs to real-world consequences. This is one week in pop culture you won't forget. When Avery posted a TikTok casually hanging out with Kath, JoJo Siwa's other ex, the internet didn't just raise eyebrows, it completely lost its mind. Think about this. Avery dated JoJo, Kath dated JoJo. And now they're linking up? Fans weren't sure if they should be shocked, suspicious, or just straight up entertained. But one thing was clear. This wasn't just a friendly hangout. This was JoJo Siwa's messy love triangle folding in on itself. Again. For those who need a refresher, JoJo dumped Kath right after Celebrity Big Brother UK, where she built a suspiciously close friendship with Chris Hughes. Fast forward 5 minutes and boom, JoJo and Chris are dating, and Kath is out. But here's where it gets wild. When Avery dated JoJo, the same pattern happened. JoJo seemed to be getting a little too friendly with her ex toward the end. And when Avery and JoJo split, people swore JoJo was already circling back to the previous girl. Now Kath and Avery are sharing screen time like it's nothing. And fans can't help but wonder, is this revenge, coincidence, or just the most chaotic crossover event JoJo's ever inspired? One thing's for sure, they've got a lot to talk about, and they're not the only ones making headlines this week. But if you thought that was messy, wait until you see what Tana Mongeau did next. Only Tana Mongeau could turn a birthday Instagram post into a full-blown internet pregnancy scandal. It all started when fans zoomed in on a pic she posted and spotted what looked like a nicotine vape next to her cake. That should have been the end of it, but instead, the comment section lit up with wild theories about her being pregnant. Now, instead of ignoring it or clapping back like most influencers, Tana went full Tana. She dropped a TikTok where she joked about taking a pregnancy test on camera. And let's be clear, this wasn't a polished PR moment. It was chaotic. She struggled to open the box, joked about being a future mom while spiraling, and then, of course, the test malfunctioned. At one point, she was literally holding it up like a trophy, threatening to wear it as a purse charm in Las Vegas. The whole video blurred the line between parody and panic, and fans couldn't look away. But underneath the chaos, a bigger conversation popped up. Why is it still so normal to speculate on a woman's body like this? Why do people jump to pregnancy just because of a bloat, a puff, or a bad angle? Tana leaned into the joke, but she also exposed how fast social media can turn innocent posts into viral rumors. And while Tana was taking tests, Diddy was taking L's. What happened in court this week shocked even his own fans. This wasn't just another update in the Diddy saga. It was a legal bombshell. After being found guilty on 2 out of 5 federal counts, Diddy's legal team scrambled to keep him out of jail. They begged the judge for bail, promising restricted travel, surveillance, anything. But the judge wasn't buying it. Citing a documented history of violence and drug use, the court denied the request, meaning Diddy will sit behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn while he waits for sentencing. And that's not a short wait. The date is set for October 3rd, and unless something dramatic happens, he's not going anywhere until then. His lawyers tried pulling every card. Letters of good character, emotional appeals, legal strategy. But the ruling was clear. This wasn't just a legal L. It was a message. The kind that says no amount of fame, money, or influence guarantees you special treatment anymore. The internet's reaction? Mixed. Some people cheered. Others speculated about what Diddy's team might pull behind the scenes before sentencing, but almost everyone agrees. It's far from over. And speaking of things spiraling out of control, let's talk about Love Island. Because this season, it's a social media bloodbath. Love Island is known for messy romances, shocking recouplings, and viral moments. But this season, it's different. This one feels dangerous. It started off light enough, a fresh batch of singles in a sun-soaked villa, all looking for love, or at least a few 100,000 followers. But somewhere between Casa Amor and the confessionals, things turn dark. There are no solid couples, no clear favorites, just betrayal, backstabbing, and a fan base more divided than ever. And here's what makes it crazier. This drama isn't just staying on the show, it's bleeding into real life. Viewers aren't just picking sides, they're canceling people in real time. Instagram followings are rising and crashing overnight. People who were gaining 100K followers a day are now losing that in a matter of hours. Fan favorites have become public enemies. And the worst part? It's not because of cheating scandals or wild behavior. It's all about vibes, the tone, the attitude, the energy on screen. If you come off fake, cold, or too polished, the audience sees it, and they punish it. It's not just a dating show anymore, it's a live experiment in social approval. And everyone's losing. And it all came to a head with three girls, Sierra, Shelly, and Alandria. What happened to them next is the biggest fall from grace we've seen all season. At the start of the season, Sierra, Shelly, and Alandria were it girls, the trio everyone rooted for. Stylish, confident, magnetic. They were the fan favorite squad. But then came Tuesday's episode, and everything unraveled. The Islanders were asked to write raw, honest confessionals to each other, and that's when viewers saw something ugly. Fans didn't see fun shade or flirty banter. They saw mean girl energy, and lots of it. People started whispering, are they just playing the game, or are they actually bullies? But whispers quickly became backlash. Sierra, who was racing toward 1 million followers, lost over 100,000 in one night. Shelly and Alandria weren't far behind. The internet turned on them fast and hard. What made it worse? Sierra's friend MJ, who had been running her socials and going viral for her captions, got a little cocky. She tweeted that Sierra wouldn't care because she'd have 1 million followers in a few days anyway. That tweet aged like milk. Now Sierra's being called fake, calculated, and emotionally detached, especially after Alandria kissed the guy Sierra had been talking to. And Sierra acted like she didn't even care. Fans thought she was too calm, too cool, maybe too strategic. And MJ doubling down only made things worse. Her "you'll care when you're famous" energy backfired in the worst possible way. These three didn't just lose followers, they lost the audience's trust. And just when it couldn't get more tone-deaf, Sierra's old Instagram post resurfaced. And that's when things truly exploded. If the fan base was already on edge, this was the tipping point. Someone dug through Sierra's old Instagram stories and found a post that didn't just age badly. It burned on re-entry. In it, she casually used a slur against Asian people, while talking about getting Botox to open her eyes. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't a joke taken out of context. It was flat out offensive. And people were done. The backlash was instant. Comments flooded her profiles, calling her out not just for the slur, but for the casual racism baked into the whole caption. And while the story was old, the timing couldn't have been worse. Fans who were already uncomfortable with her polished, PR-ready energy now had a reason to call her fake and problematic. Some even accused her of weaponizing calmness to manipulate the audience. Others just said she was playing the long game to win the cash prize. And remember, this wasn't just a bad post. It was tied directly to how she viewed beauty and how far she was willing to go to meet a standard that clearly made others feel unseen. It shattered whatever sympathy she had left. From that moment on, Sierra wasn't just losing followers, she was haunted by the post. And unlike Love Island drama, this wasn't something an edit could fix. But while Sierra's world was crumbling, someone else was rising, with zero effort, zero strategy, and 1 million new fans. While Sierra, Shelly, and Alandria were busy losing fans and playing defense, Amaya Papaya was doing the one thing nobody else seemed to understand. Absolutely nothing. No social media managers, no viral TikToks, no shady confessionals or villain edits. Just showing up on screen and being herself. And somehow, it worked better than anyone could have predicted. Amaya gained over 1 million followers. Organically. No captions, no strategy. Meanwhile, the others had whole teams behind the scenes. And we're still watching their follower counts collapse in real time. She became the fan favorite, not because she tried, but because she didn't. And the contrast couldn't have been louder. While the other girls were being accused of manipulation, bullying, and chasing fame, Amaya felt like a throwback to what Love Island was supposed to be. A messy, romantic, wild ride, but with real people who aren't trying to play the algorithm. Even her rivals started to look uncomfortable with how likable she was. And fans took notice. People started rooting for her not just to win, but to win alone. to keep the full prize money. Because in a season where no couple feels real, Amaya was the only one who felt authentic. She didn't just survive the chaos, she floated above it. But the real question now is, how much of this mess was real? And how much was planned by the producers from the start? Just a few weeks ago, the official Love Island socials were posting wholesome reminders. Be kind. Remember they're real people. And love is the key word in Love Island. Cute, right? Now, fast forward to this week, and they dropped a challenge where Islanders had to openly say what they disliked about each other. On camera, in front of the whole villa, tears were shed, fights broke out. Viewers watched cast members crumble in real time. So, what happened to all that talk about kindness and love? Fans started connecting the dots and asking the uncomfortable question, are the producers manufacturing chaos on purpose? It wouldn't be the first time reality TV twisted the narrative to boost ratings, but this season, it's more obvious than ever. Contestants who were previously protected by soft edits suddenly got thrown under the bus. Old footage resurfaced. Tensions got magnified. It almost feels like the producers are giving us a villain rotation, 1 week at a time. And it's working. The show is going viral daily. TikToks, memes, reaction videos, it's everywhere. And the cast? They're just pawns in a bigger game. Some are rising fast. Others are falling even faster. But no one's safe. And yet, next week is the finale. A winner has to be crowned. Somehow, some way, someone is walking away with that cash. But with every connection broken, every fan base shaken, and every reputation in freefall, can anyone actually win this season? This season proved that on Love Island, fame is fragile, loyalty is rare, and one bad edit can erase everything. From JoJo's exes linking up to Diddy behind bars, and influencers literally losing followers overnight, the chaos wasn't just entertaining, it was personal. And with the finale around the corner, we're all wondering, who's actually playing for love? And who's just trying to survive?